Here are the top 15 facts of the Chicago Cubs.
The 1906 Cubs won 116 games, a major league record that stood alone for 95 years until the 2001 Mariners tied it, although the Cubs did do it in fewer games. Their .763 winning percentage is still the highest in modern baseball history.
Before becoming the Cubs in 1903, the team was known as the White Stockings from 1876 to 1889, the Colts from 1890 to 1897, and the Orphans from 1898 to 1902.
In 1907 and 1908, the Cubs became the first team in MLB history to play in 3 consecutive World Series and win 2 consecutive titles.
The trio of Joe Tinker, Johnny Evers, and Frank Chance made frequent double play combinations for the Cubs in the early 1900s, and they were immortalized in a 1910 poem called Baseball's Sad Lexicon, written by a frustrated New York Giants fan.
Opened in 1914, Wrigley Field is the second oldest stadium in MLB, trailing only Boston's Fenway Park, which was opened in 1912. Interestingly, it wasn't even built for the Cubs, but for a team called the Chicago Whales of the short-lived Federal League.
The famous ivy on the outfield walls was planted in 1937 by Bill Veeck. Because the walls are made of brick, Wrigley is the only MLB stadium that is grandfathered into not having padded walls.
Wrigley still uses a manually operated scoreboard that was installed in 1937. To this day, no player has ever hit a batted ball into the scoreboard, although golfer Sam Snead once hit it with a golf ball from home plate.
Wrigley Field was the last MLB stadium to install lights, and they'd play day games exclusively until August 8th, 1988. Although P.K. Wrigley had actually bought lights in 1941, but he would donate the steel to the war effort the day after Pearl Harbor.
In 1945, tavern owner Billy Cianis was asked to leave a World Series game because his pet goat Murphy really smelled bad. He reportedly said, "Them Cubs, they ain't gonna win no more." The team did not return to the World Series for another 71 years.
In 1969, while the Cubs were in a tight pennant race with the Mets, a black cat ran onto the field at Shea Stadium and would circle Cubs star Ron Santo. The Cubs subsequently collapsed and lost the division.
When the Cubs won the World Series in 2016, they ended the longest championship drought in North American sports history. At the time of their previous win in 1908, Arizona and New Mexico weren't even states yet.
After every win, the Cubs fly a white flag with the blue W above the scoreboard, and this tradition began in the 1930s so commuters on the nearby L train could know if the team won without checking the newspaper.
It is a strict tradition at Wrigley Field that if an opposing player hits a home run, the fan who catches it must throw it back onto the field.
Broadcaster Harry Carey made singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" a worldwide phenomenon, and since his death in 1998, the Cubs have used guest conductors ranging from Bill Murray to Ozzy Osbourne to lead the crowd.
Wrigley is unique because fans can watch games from the rooftops of apartment buildings across the street on Waveland and Sheffield Avenues. These Wrigley rooftops are now official partners of the team. Thank you for tuning in this episode. Please subscribe, like, share with your friends.